Hey guys, and welcome back to Tyranny, Path of Iron Trial of the Damned. I am obliged once again to let you know that this is a story-based game and there may be spoilers. But with that in mind, let's get into the game.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Da-da-da-da-da. Conquest! During the Conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. 428. Blaze it. Year 1 of Tyros' Conquest. I'm sorry. The Bastard City. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between... named for its position between two realms, the Northern Empire and the Southern Tiers. The Bastard City and its surrounding lands, known as the Bastard Tier, is a melting pot of cultures and place of commerce and intrigue. The Tearsmen of the South view the Bastard City as a place of wealth and excess, but to the people of the Northern Empire, the Bastard City is little more than a sprawling slum. Tunon the Adjudicator established his court in the Bastard City. From his foothold in the Tiers, he and his court of Fatebinders imposed Kairos' laws upon the conquered land. The Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tiers. Built upon a natural harbour of the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tiers, it was the centre of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it the natural target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking this city would send a message to the rest of the Tiers. Kairos. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Select a token on the map to begin. Infiltrate the Tiers. Both armies sent their forces to prepare the way. Gates of Judgment. In the first major engagement of the war, Kairos' armies cross the mountains and establish a foothold. Alright, let's just select this one. The armies of Kairos took the battle to the Gates of Judgment, trumpeting the opening call of the conquest of the Tiers. The two armies brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to battle alongside the army whose approach best suited your strengths. Join the battle alongside the Disfavored or the Scarlet Chorus. Well, I don't know which. You rushed the city with a chaotic mass of the Scarlet Chorus, flanked the Bastard City's army, and drove them to flee. The Scarlet Chorus is little more than a gang of thugs and their captive slaves. Rather than organised under commissioned officers, the Chorus follow a hierarchy seemingly ruled by whoever has the bravado to command and defend their position. At the head of this chaotic pecking order, the Archon of Secrets, better known as the Voices of Nerat, treats the Scarlet Chorus as his personal army. The Scarlet Chorus often suffers tremendous losses in battles, only to swell in the aftermath when captured enemies and collateral prisoners are given the cruel opportunity to join or die. Standing shield to shield with Kairos' ironclad elite, you advance in a mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the Bastard City. The Legion wanted to send a message to the Tiers that superior breeding and disciplined training would win the day. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Disfavored. The Bastard City learned too late that a military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics and formation of the Disfavored. Disciplined and battle-hardened, the Disfavored are an elite legion in Kairos' army. They spearhead the conquest of the younger realms, finding themselves always outnumbered but never outclassed. Led by the steadfast and dutiful Graven Ash, whom they follow with obsessive devotion. They are committed to imposing their interpretation of order upon the relative lawlessness of the Tiers. The Legion only tolerates Northerners in their ranks, priding themselves on their high standards and cultural purity. Those few who lived to the end of the battle were rounded up, the weak executed, and the strong enslaved to haul the army's wagons on the journey south. Oh! So I only get to choose one of these, okay. You found a way to feed Kairos' armies in enemy territory. The soldiers of the tiers fell by the hundreds, and Kairos' armies could not agree on how to handle what few survivors they dragged back to the camp. Befitting your role, the commanders turned to you to decide the fate of those who occupied the prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of a single army. Conscriptum to serve the Scarlet Chorus, or slaves to haul the gear. The disfavored need slaves to haul the gear, dig latrines, and keep the pallets warm at night. You can assign the survivors to battle the subservient role among the Graven Ashes noble troops. Okay, so I think I would prefer to... I think this is more befitting of my character, to be honest. And I would enslave them. Yes, indeed. Wounded and demoralised by prior defeat, the soldiers of the tiers put up minimal resistance to their new status in Kairos' military. The disfavoured enjoyed the luxury of putting others to work, but didn't allow themselves to grow soft, turning away from menial duties and focusing instead on rigorous training regime. It would be regiment, yeah, it would be regiment. That left them alert and eager for combat. You gave the tiers slaves their first assignment, digging a mass grave outside the gates of judgment where the cloud of flies marked the passage of Kairos' army. Taking the bastard city. The armies of Kairos amassed around the bastard city, the first bastion of tiers to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost, the Scarlet Chorus howling for plunder, and the disfavoured following an unbreakable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle has carried them this far, but there was one more step before total victory. Victory? Both of the armies had inspired schemes to take the bastard city. Which did you support? Assault on the main gates with the disfavoured. Setting fire to the city and blocking the gates. Oh, that's pretty cool. Or a mix. So it's like you led a mixed band over the city walls to sabotage defences. I really like that one. Join the disfavoured vanguard in a direct assault. No fortification would stand before the unstoppable legion. Oh, that's pretty cool. You regenerate health rapidly, but your damage is significantly reduced. I don't want to min-max it right now. I kind of like this. Create a cloud of obscuring shadows and dust. For a short duration, enemies who use physical attacks have significantly increased chance to miss. Your attacks will also be less effective. Ah, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Extra dodge and extra parry. I do like that. Once per encounter. Yeah, let's go with that. That would be the one that I would choose for RP reasons anyway. Though it was challenging to earn the cooperation of both armies, their shared interest in taking down the city's defences allowed your scouts to work as a single unit. Once your forces scaled the walls, a mixture of tactics and savagery destabilised the city guard, who quickly lost their command over the defences and were forced to surrender. Lacking the support of archers or siege weapons, the bastard city fell quickly to Kairos' superior might. I prefer that as an actual way to take the city anyway, as well. Because you can either like siege it, and you would get losses. You could set fire to the place, and then you would lose the support of the locals, or you can go via subterfuge. The bastard city settled into a state of normalcy, with every tower displaying Kairos' banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumours of decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as a judge, an overseer of the settlement of Lithian's Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. Troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbours in the bastard tier fell. In the second year of war, a joint force of the disfavoured and Scarlet Chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the tier's central valley. Lithian's Crossing. Deposits of iron made the settlement of Lithian's Crossing a strategic war asset. Kairos sent forge-bound smith mages of exceptional skill to establish a flow of weaponry. Tunon the Adjudicator sent one of his Fatebinders to ensure the enforcement of Kairos' law. I think I would prefer to be in the thick of it, so let's go to Apex. 429 TR. Year 2 of Kairos' Conquest. Bonk. The mountain nation of Apex, ruled for generations by the queens of House Vendrian, stood at the heart of the tiers. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flank exposed to attack. By the second year of the war, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus had pushed deep into the tiers. Elements of both armies were dispatched to conquer Apex. 2 non assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both armies. A new school of mages presents problems and opportunities. A school of water mages loyal to the tiersmen posed a substantial threat. The disfavored wanted to annihilate the school, while Scarlet Chorus insisted on capturing the mages wishing to learn their craft. The Battle of Edgaring Pass. The disfavored sent their most destructive ally to crush Edgaring Fort. Cairn, Archon of Stone, buried the stronghold under an avalanche triggered from the surrounding mountains. The Scarlet Chorus were promised captured enemies for recruitment, yet none survived the onslaught. The Chorus demanded compensation. You upheld their claim and demanded the youngest disfavored scouts. Fuck that. Here I would capture the mage. If I got to choose 2, I would capture the mages and I would decide with the disfavored. I'm going to go with this one though. Saying that, if I go with this one. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one and side with the Scarlet Chorus, ordering the Mage Elders taken alive for interrogation. Though countless lives were lost taking mages into custody, the Scarlet Chorus praised your name as they dragged the beaten elders of the school to the voices of Nerat's tent. As a wave of screams and incoherent pleas reached their crescendo, the Scarlet Chorus soldiers outside cheered for their Archon. The disfavored adjourned to their camp in grim silence, claiming the chorus lacked the will and desire to fully wipe out all traces of the enemy school. A captive captain poisoning the well. Ugh. Okay, well that's already been done, so it's like... When Kairos' forces captured a celebrated enemy hero, the armies bickered over his fate. The disfavored wanted to set him free to convince his peers of Kairos' mercy. The Scarlet Chorus wanted him flayed and staked as an example. I'd probably go with the disfavored here, and the leave all but one alive. Leave all but one alive? No, other way around. Kill all but one to send a message to their friends. You agree with the disfavored's plan and sent the enemy captain back with a message. All those who surrendered or cooperated would be treated with the deserving respect as subject of Kairos' peace. Shocked by your clemency, the enemy captain vowed to deliver his message in full and paid his respects before departing for his encampment. Though typically more uncompromising, the disfavored praised your innovative thinking. The Scarlet Chorus despised what they viewed as resources wasted, only to release a known enemy back into the wild. With the defeat of the Apex and inevitability, the armies of Kairos met to discuss how to put an end to this stage of the conquest. Both armies agreed to send an officer to parley. Along with their acceptance, the enemy requested that you appear at a meeting. Word of your fair dealings had apparently spread to their ranks. How did you orchestrate the surrender of the realm of Apex? Through days of mediation, you negotiated the surrender of the Valley to Kairos' forces, putting an end to further bloodshed. Taunting the Queen of Apex, striking you under the banner of truce, you baited the Queen of Apex into a duel and slew her, frightening the vassals into submission. No, just... less death means that you've got better relations when you're finished. Your former enemies were loath to part with their lands, but they were even more reluctant to continue a war they were losing at every turn. The Tiersmen are a stubborn lot, and despite their grim situation, it still took days of discussion and diplomacy to show them the madness of tenacity. On the third day of mediation, the rulers of Apex finally submit to your terms of surrender, putting an end to the war in the valley, and freeing up Kairos' forces to march deeper into the tiers. I like that. I like how it breaks the little icons. The land of Apex finally rested in the hands of Kairos' forces. The Scarlet Chorus paused to revel in victory, while the disfavored prepared for the next fight. affording themselves but an evening's rest. Kairos' armies radiated from the conquered Citadel and worked their way across the tiers. The disfavoured and Scarlet Chorus aimed to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming year. Your distinguished reputation in Kairos' military left the choice of your next destination as yours to make. So we can go to Azure. Kairos dispatched the Archons of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. Stalwart, with its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in the tiers. Well, the Citadel. Kairos' conquering gaze fell upon the Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. I'm gonna go with the Citadel. That seems like the most fun anyway. It's got knowledge. 430 TR, year 3 of Kairos Conquest. We're not even in 420 anymore, it's ridiculous. The Vellum Citadel was a library fortress, the largest archive of the written word in the tiers. The School of Ink and Quill protected and maintained the archive of ancient lore for centuries, standing apart from the political upheavals of the younger realms as an enduring pillar of knowledge and culture. The Vellum Citadel was an archive and library of massive scale. Its inhabitants were known as the School of Ink and Quill, 18, a circle of mages that, centuries ago, carved out their own mountainous refuge on lands unsettled by the other major realms. Legend said that the Citadel housed a treasure trove of arcane knowledge. The Overlord's spies infiltrated the school and confirmed as much. The time was ripe to send a detachment to the great library fortress and force the scholars to yield to Kairos. Bonk, bonk. Songs of Ensnarement. Siren, Archon of Songs, used her power to enthrall enemy mages who crept beyond the Citadel walls. After Kairos' forces rounded up the arcane practitioners, the disfavoured began executing the new captives before they could share the dangerous knowledge, a crime under Kairos' law, with the Scarlet Chorus. A detachment of Kairos' army marched on the Vellum Citadel, expecting an orderly surrender. As they neared the main gates, a blast of arcane energy struck the commanders dead. Suddenly, the highest-ranking officer is alive. Kairos' forces looked to you for the next steps. The call weighed in your mind, as it had immediate influence on soldiers' losses. Ooh. Or I could just like bitch out and go with this one. The disfavored like executed the mages. I think even here I would probably order the disfavored to advance, knowing that a handful of Kairos elite soldiers could hold off the attack until the Scarlet Chorus retreated. Oh no, I'd probably send the Scarlet Chorus to attack. You ordered the expendable Scarlet Chorus to attack, commanding the disorderly mob forward to give the elite disfavored a chance to withdraw. Though a costly maneuver in terms of lives lost, this assured the survival of most capable and effective soldiers. That's what I would do, because the Scarlet Chorus, like, that's what they are. They're cannon fodder, essentially. Ever itching for a fight, the howling mob still recognise your maneuver, the sacrificial move that it was. Those from the Scarlet Chorus who ran headlong into battle made promises of a reckoning upon their return. Thankfully for you, hardly any of them limped back in one piece. The few who survived made fevered whisperings their grievances, naming you as a villain to the Scarlet Chorus. Well, I'm sorry. The army captured a supply caravan overflowing with arcane books. When the disfavored started a bonfire of forbidden texts, the Scarlet Chorus rescued the tomes from the flames and attacked. Or, the disfavored learned of a hidden enemy enclave and sent scouts to locate it. They never returned from the mission. The remaining disfavored soldiers demanded that you send a Scarlet Chorus to retrieve the scouts, but the Scarlet Chorus flatly refused to fall into the same trap. They recommended that the scouts be treated as wartime casualties. I don't want to abandon the lost disfavored. I would much prefer to... You decreed that the disfavored are welcome to burn their half of the plunder, but the Scarlet Chorus has rightful claim to the other half, provided you first review the text first to eliminate any that touched on forbidden knowledge. The Scarlet Chorus agreed to your generous terms, and you set to poring over every manuscript before it was handed over. The work took several evenings, and you came away with a glimpse of truths better left unknown. Taking the burden upon yourself was less risky alternative than disseminating it amongst Kairos' ranks, though it didn't help you sleep at night. The Edict of Fire. Food and morale dwindled as the siege party realised that the enemy would win this war of attrition. Tunon sent word that Kairos' patience had run thin. The Overlord would cast an Edict of Fire on the enemy. The parchment arrived in a slender case of engraved iron. Written on it, the words of a spell powerful enough to destroy the Vellum Citadel. You had the choice of when to read the edict. Reading it at sunrise would offer your enemies no warning of the devastation to come. You could also wait until sunset, giving them ample time to flee or make amends. Given a warning, opting to give the enemy no quarter, you proclaimed Edict of Fire at first moments of dawn, or claiming they still had spies within the Citadel, the Scarlet Chorus urged you to warn the mages of the Overlord's edict. Granting their request, you met with the enemy under a blue flag of peace and warned them of their doom, giving the Chorus spies and the enemy a chance to run. I think I'm going to go with that one, because not only does it give them a chance to run, but also gives them a chance to surrender. You confronted the mages with a warning and hoped the message was received. The hour before sunset, numerous figures were spotted fleeing the Citadel. As the sun dipped under the horizon, you read the words of the edict. The earth shook, and red-orange light glowed in the foundation of the sprawling Citadel. Bubbling up from under the library, a torrent of lava heaved with explosive force, gushing from windows and between loose bricks, melting winding trenches in the surrounding land. Days later, the flames still raged on. The conflagration continued, fed and renewed by the power of the edict. It's like the volcano spell from Populace. The armies of Kairos left the devastation of the Vellum Citadel in silence. From that day forward, the Tears came to know the once noble Citadel as the Burning Library. Previously known as the Vellum Citadel, the archive and ancestral home of the sages is now the site of a volcanic crater. Eruptions of lava began during the conquest of the Tears after Kairos' forces failed to claim the library in Overlord's name. Kairos cast an Edict of Fire to break the siege and rid the world of the forbidden knowledge stored there. The Citadel has been a smouldering ruin ever since. This was an undisputed loss of resources, knowledge, culture and life, but a message had been sent: the Overlord will not tolerate defiance. You did not have long to rest before Tunon called you into service once more. You were one of the last to depart from the mountains, and as you journeyed off, you spotted a few campfires in the mountains. They were mere specks, dwarfed by the inferno, the last gasps of survivors or perhaps looters from Kairos' armies, bored and daring enough to pick through the ashes. The conquest is now complete. You've reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to replay it or and erase your progress, or start? Do you want to continue or erase your progress and start over? But that is where we're going to have to end this episode. Thanks a lot for watching as we battled through the conquest. In the next episode we should be able to get into some actual gameplay, but as always, thanks a lot for watching. I've been Steve, you've been awesome, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.